okay.
All right, good morning. Good morning. Say that again, good morning.
Good morning.
Eyes up.
Eyes up.
Hearts up.
Hearts up.
Mind sharp.
Mind sharp.
Compassion on full blast.
Compassion on full blast.
Ooh, that's hot. Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Your first thing today is a quiz. Yeah, I did tell you. It's okay though, it's easy. Which people have the following: permanent homes, farms, for food growing, written language, and some form of government and specialization of labor. So the answer is B. One more. Beautiful, nice, neat tiles. That one.
You guys love about living in Houston, that's what they want to know. Answer the question. You've been living here your whole life. Jacqueline, we heard from you. Anyone else? What do you like about living here?
Okay, straight in your face. We's about to take y'all to another place. Uno, dos, tres. All we need now is just a little more bass. Feel it vibrate. Put the song on when you're feeling irate. This is my day, yeah, that's what I say. Smooth it on out like Sade. Stay, under God's.
Hi, my name is Nadia, and although your area wasn't affected like really badly, was it still as bad as news described it?
You need to jump once you get your soul back, cause he'll be with you like BP with rap. One thing as a fact, on God's way you need to roll all that. Them thoughts come back, do not relapse. Just sit on back and just relax like
I just wanna enjoy my day, wash all the clouds away. Not gonna cry today, good things are gonna come my way. I know that it will be a much brighter day. All I got to do is trust in you and stay
cool with it, stay fly with it. Get your hands way up in the sky with it. Stay cool with it, stay fly with it. Now hands to the left and the right with it. Stay cool with it, stay fly with it. Now lean to the left and the right with it.
Stay cool with it, stay fly with it. Just know you gotta trust God with it.
Will somebody get me God on the phone, please? I think I just found my tenderoni. And she brown, but not brown as Bobby is. And she fine, but not fine like wine is. I mean fine like finally. Don't that feel nice? A girl that'll give you those junior high butterflies. 143, I showed you mine, now you show me your heart. I'm lovesick in the ICU because I see you like LASIK. And girl, let's face it, you looking right, and I look alright, but the feeling's nice. By the way, this is Marty, not McFly, but I'm still fly. And speaking of which, I come equipped with a spaceship. Let's dip, and take a spin with the Marty.
I just wanna enjoy my day, wash all the clouds away. Not gonna cry today, good things are gonna come my way. I know that it will be a much brighter day. All I got to do is trust in you and stay
cool with it, stay fly with it. Get your hands way up in the sky with it. Stay cool with it, stay fly with it. Now hands to the left and the right with it. Stay cool with it, stay fly with it. Now lean to the left and the right with it.
Stay cool with it, stay fly with it. Just know you gotta trust God with it.
You got it right, solid McKnight. God's got my future and it's mighty bright. No soap opera but guiding light is guiding me on my Friday night. I cried every night cause I lost Irene. Eyes all red now I need Visine. Yeah I know I'm a child of the king, but I really want Irene back on my team. But God says I'm so aware of it. I feel your pain, I'll so take care of it. It's in your heart, your soul, no matter where it is. But right now it's just so imperative. Stay cool, stay fly, stay silent. Even when this life tries to put you on your wallet. Let the top down, let the wind blow. No convertible, roll down the window and say
I just wanna enjoy my day, wash all the clouds away. Not gonna cry today, good things are gonna come my way. I know that it will be a much brighter day.
bad players were kneeling. He said the NFL should fire those players. He called for a boycott and added layers. Since the controversy, it became a different fight. Respect for the flag versus First Amendment rights.
Okay, no drama over whose paper you had. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as you don't have your own, you're good to go. Okay, close all Chromebooks, please. We'll get back to it. So take anyone else's. We are not being dramatic about whose we get. It does not matter. Just pass them down. Yes, please. Okay. Okay. Number 1. Anybody else wants Brian read it? Can't see the numbers. See that one? Still can't see the numbers. Okay. Go give your person their. Okay, if you got 3, wow, a lot of you. All right, if you got 360, come on up. Yeah. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 30.
11. 2. 10. 5. 9. 11. 17. 2. 23. 15. 12. 11.
Come on.
And then you can
Come on. 15!
Yes!
Stay fly with it. Get your hands way up in the sky with it. Stay cool with it. Stay fly with it. Now hands to the left and the right with it. Stay cool with it. Stay fly with it. Now lean to the left and the right with it.
Stay cool with it, stay fly with it. Just know you gotta just go with it.
Hi guys, it's Friday, and on Fridays, a lot of people tend to do assessments. So I thought I would just talk about some of the assessments that I'm doing today with my classes. I don't always do a bunch of assessments on Fridays, but it is the end of September right now, and it's just kind of naturally come to a place where I need to start assessing my students, doing kind of like the summative assessment type of assignments. In all of my classes, we've kind of come to the end of a unit or the end of a section right about now. So this was a good day to do a couple of tests. So I'll talk you through some of the things that I'm doing today. I'm just looking at my schedule over there. I teach 3 different preps, and all 3 of them are brand new to me, curriculum I've never taught before. So my brain is just constantly like maxed out and I can never remember what's going on. So I'm checking. Okay, so for my 6th grade history students, we started with a unit on like early humans, kind of prehistory. It's kind of a lot squished together in that unit. So one thing that's due today is their interactive notebook. And in my last video, I talked about how I'm in love with mini interactive notebooks where it doesn't take up an entire like bound notebook. We just stapled 10 pieces of paper together and we made this. And this is where we've been taking our notes and just kind of keeping things organized. And so this for them is due today. Most of it was already done. We kind of did this all together, but if they needed to add any extra things to it today, they got to do that. I just had them kind of color things if they wanted to. They didn't have to, but this kept track of like their vocabulary. They have a little Venn diagram right here. We have a map of the crops in the Middle East. And then on the last page, I didn't actually do it, but they had the option of 21 different task cards, and they had to choose 2 and complete whatever was on those task cards on the last page. So I'll be grading these, I don't know, maybe over the weekend, I guess. So this is something that was due today. They also took a test, and I got the test from Vocabulary. I also talked about this a little bit in my last video, and Vocabulary has tests and quizzes. Actually, I think what I'm calling a test, they call a quiz on their website. It's only 10 questions long. And we had a quiz a couple of days ago, and I use the read and response as quizzes because all of the answers come from the reading. So they're kind of learning and being assessed a little bit at the same time. And then the test and the quiz go together. So they learned a little bit more about these topics on Wednesday, and then today they took a 10 question test on it. So it was something they were able to finish pretty quickly. They were all like freaking out today when they remembered that they had a test, but it didn't really take them that long. So when they were finished with their test, they made a pile and turned those in. And then I did let them use this on the test. I don't know if this really helped all that much, but it just gave them like a little sense of comfort. And then if they needed to finish a few things on this, they were able to finish that and then turn it in. And then our next section is going to be on early civilizations, ancient civilizations. And so I had them start learning about the geography of the Middle East. So I love the website Shepherd Software online. I've used that for a really long time. It's kind of a old website, I think, but they are interactive map games. And so whenever they were finished, because kids kind of finished at like really different rates today, like it was a little bit hard to time. So I just gave them something else to do when they were finished that was independent. And that was the map game where they have to locate all the different countries in the Middle East. I just like to make that connection between what does that land that we're going to be studying look like today, because sometimes when we study like ancient places, we kind of forget that and they still exist. People still live there now. These are still real places. They just didn't have the same borders and names and stuff back then. So that was 6th grade history. For 6th grade English, I am attempting today our first reading assessment. So I don't do reading logs because they just turn into lying logs, to be honest. The kids lie that they read, their parents sign off and lie that they watch their kids read, and then I lie by saying that I, actually graded it. So I just feel like all of the effort that everyone puts in isn't really worth much. We could put our effort towards something else. So I asked them to read 20 minutes a day, and then the way that I assess that is by having them write about what they're reading on Fridays. And this is the first time we've actually done it, so we'll see. So I would rather read a short response to their book than just look at numbers. I read for 30 minutes, I read for 20 minutes. So it's not perfect by any means, but this is just what I'm trying right now, and I'm trying to see, how well it'll work. So the first thing we started with were our 5-a-days. Let me show you our 5-a-days. Okay, I keep them in this binder. I just printed them all out. These are from Got to Teach. And first of all, it comes with a little handbook. I could make a separate video just about this, but it starts with a little handbook that we made at the beginning of the year that kind of explains all of the concepts that they'll be practicing throughout the year. And then each week they have 5 questions each day, and it's actually just Monday through Thursday because you could give a quiz on Fridays. They have 5 kind of topics that they study each day or that they practice each day, and so every Monday they're going to work on context clues, spelling, commas, dashes, parentheses, subjective, objective, possessive pronouns, and antonyms. So every Monday they work on those things. And then by the end of the year, they've just had a lot of practice. So they did their Thursday. It's a little bit confusing, sorry. On Thursdays, we do circles, so I don't have them do a 5-a-day on Thursdays. We do Thursdays on Friday, and I check it while they are reading. So after they did their 5-a-day, we read for 15 minutes of just silent, sustained reading time. And then after that, they write a response to whatever section in their book that they just read. And it really helps if they've been reading throughout the week rather than just that 15-minute reading time, because it'll help them to have a better response. And today I allowed them to borrow a book from me if they forgot their book, but in the future I'll deduct points if they don't have their book with them. And so this is how we get our prompts for what they're going to write about. These are also from Got to Teach, and this took a long time to put together, but these are response to literature questions. And so all the different colors represent a different aspect of literature. I just printed out each one on different colored paper, and then I laminated them, and then I cut them. So this was a little bit time consuming, but I'm loving these. So the gray is details, the purple is multiple perspectives, the dark blue is across disciplines, let's see, the yellow is ethics, the pink is unanswered questions. So The kids haven't really figured out yet that all the colors like represent a different category. I'm just kind of letting them, when they figure that out, it's fine, but I'm not gonna mention it. So I just fan these out and I ask a volunteer to pick a color. So let's say that they say purple. So then I'll grab all the purples and then I'll say pick a number between 1 and 8 because there are 8 of each of these, and let's say they say 3. This one is number 3. So then like it'll be like, ooh, okay, what's our prompt gonna be? And I put this up on the projector screen, and so this one happens to say, what might a classmate, a family member, or an adult think of this reading selection? Explain your answer. So it's not necessary that they have finished the entire book in order to answer these questions. These are just based on a reading selection, so it can just be what they read today. Let's look at another one. This says, what point of view is the reading selection told from? Would it be different if it were told from the perspective of another character or narrator? So these are all really good prompts and they can just apply to any novel. So they're allowed to read any novel that they want. It really can't be, you know, like a graphic novel or like a textbook of any kind. It does need to be a story, but other than that, they're free to choose anything. I always do an example, although today my example wasn't that great. This is the book that I'm reading. It's called Dead Wake by Eric Larson. It's more of a monograph. It's like a history book, but they don't know that. They've never read it, and I was able to kind of make it work. So I always write an example just to kind of help them out, and I give them the prompt before they start reading. So while they're reading for those 15 minutes, they're able to look for details that they might need to answer the question. And then today, for example, actually our question, it is a purple one. It's about multiple perspectives. It's about point of view. They're supposed to answer what is the point of view of your narrator and what can you learn about the story through their point of view. And so I just happen to be familiar enough with the vocabulary videos that after we chose that as our question, I went ahead and showed the vocabulary video about point of view. Even though that's something that they should know already, that was just a quick reminder. So we watched that and then they read. And my 6th graders, my 6th grade English students, I actually have for 2 periods every day. So I had them at the beginning of the day. I'm gonna have them again at the end. And in one period, because this was the first time we were doing this, we didn't get much writing time. So I'm gonna allow them more writing time at the end of the day, but this should go a little bit faster just as we move through the year. So they'll continue writing, but I think this is an interesting way for me to learn about what they're reading, kind of hold them accountable for reading, and have them practice like response to literature, and then I can also assess their writing. So for my 8th grade English class, I'm doing something similar. Last week I had them do this same thing. They picked a question and then they did their 15 minutes of reading and then answered the question. I need to grade those this week while they're doing their silent reading time. I think that's how I'm gonna keep up on the grading. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna finish just in their 20 minutes, but at least that'll give me time to kind of work on it. So what I'm doing with my 8th graders, I was planning on having them do the same thing as the 6th graders, but with the 8th graders, I also wanted to try out the quizzes that go with these 5-a-days. So I think what I'm gonna do with my 8th graders is alternate week to week. One week, they're gonna take a quiz on the 5-a-days, on this grammar stuff, and then the alternating Fridays, they will do a response to literature. And then I might work that into the 6th graders as well. I'm testing out a lot of stuff with English. This is brand new curriculum. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I've never taught 8th grade English at all, to be honest. So everything is a little bit trial and error for me. So there's a 20-question quiz that will test my 8th graders on all of the 5-a-day questions that they had this week. So I think what I'll do is just have them take that quiz and then use the rest of the period for silent reading, because I don't think there's gonna be enough time to squish in also a reading response. I don't wanna stress them out too badly. So we'll try that today and just see how it goes. And lastly, speaking of assessments, next week I'm also going to test out the performance assessments from the collections curriculum. I've been talking a lot about that on my Insta stories, and I know a lot of districts around the country are using that same curriculum. I haven't tried these out yet, so I'm gonna give it a shot next week, and then maybe I can make some videos about these and just see how they go. If you have any tips for me, let me know. My students are coming in right now because we are making our own little video about early humans. We're doing a little skit, so I'm gonna go help them out with that. But I hope this was helpful to you, and I'll see you later.